Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, I'm Lawrence. I'm a doctor currently working on the island of Malta, and in this video I'm basically going to describe a book I've recently read which helped me change my financial outlook, which is called The Psychology of Money. From this book, I'll discuss the main points which are discussed by the author. The first topic the author talks about in the book is basically that of no one is crazy. What the author means by this is that the way we look at money is different depending on everyone's individual background and upbringing and, of course, environment. For example, people who are born in a rich family might see money in a particular way compared to others who are born poor and therefore are more or less likely to spend their income depending upon their upbringing and environment they have experienced. Of course, if one is born into a rich family, for example, the lifestyle that they have experienced might make them, for example, spend more money or appreciate that money and therefore have a better understanding upon investing into other things rather than spending it. The second point the author discusses in his book is that of luck. When it comes to luck and it comes to investments and financial stability, most who are rich and famous, talking for example about Elon Musk or about Bill Gates, were basically lucky, not because themselves they are special or superior to each one of us. However, the circumstances that they have encountered in their life help them achieve financial greatness and help them achieve success. In the example given to us in the book, which is that of Bill Gates. Bill Gates, as everyone knows, is one of the richest people on the planet. He has a huge amount of financial wealth, and if it wasn't for his luck, where he was in a particular high school that had a PC, and if it wasn't for him going to that particular high school and having an interest in coding, he wouldn't eventually have made the company that we all know today. Therefore, the circumstances around his high school experience and his circumstances of that of having a PC in his high school helped him eventually get into coding and start to build up on his skills and eventually generate a company that we all know and admire and use its software today in every institution. Of course, this also applies, for example, to Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a person like all of us. However, the circumstances that might have shaped Elon Musk may be different to the circumstances that you and me have encountered throughout our lives. The third point the author describes in the book is that of saying enough is enough. Of course, throughout life we always go wanting the next big thing, going from goal to goal, and when we have achieved our goal we always look at the next goal and the next goal, etc, etc. Therefore, greed eventually is the cause of our own demise, because if we keep on expecting to reach a higher and higher goal and we don't stop and think at what we already have and saying, okay, you know, what I already have is enough for me. How can I use my financial gains and the profits I am making to build myself a business and to make myself more financially independent, rather than always trying to gain more and more profit at the expense of enjoying life and working so much that you'd have no spare time and no free time to have a social life or to meet other people. Therefore, greed and the wanting of more and never saying enough is enough can be detrimental to not only our financial gains but also to our health, social wealth and our friendships, family, etc. In the second part of the book, the author goes into describing how we actually can go ahead and save money and make money. Now, the most common way of making money, and the fourth point described by the author in the book, is basically that of compounding money. What does compounding mean? In an example given to us in the book, basically that of Warren Buffett. Everyone knows about his financial wealth and the amount of financial strength that this person has. And through the book we read that Warren Buffett's wealth was actually made after his 50s and his 60s and not in his youth. Most of Buffett's wealth, approximately I think 99% of it, is actually compounded wealth, basically wealth which is built upon previous wealth. And this was done by basically investing in the stock market, investing into assets, and of course those assets eventually built up over time and generated more wealth as time progressed. Therefore, instead of throwing our money into short-term projects, we should look at investing our money not in the now but for the future profits or for the future gains. The next point and the fifth point in the book is basically that of saving as much as we can and countering our ego. Our ego may be the worst enemy we have to face in our lives. Why? Because our ego makes us do certain things that we don't really want to do. For example, buying an SUV or a very expensive pair of shoes out of an emotional burst in order to impress other people or to impress our girlfriend or boyfriend or partner, instead of actually saving that money and putting it into a decent investment for the future in order for us, for example, to become more financially independent. Therefore, our ego is one of the biggest contenders and one of the biggest enemies we have to face in our life. And in order for us to gain better financial freedom and to gain a more serene life as well, and to live a more peaceful life, is that of countering our ego, because our ego can eventually sometimes trigger us into doing things which are detrimental to our own well-being. The few other points that I'd like to finish off about are basically the concepts of saving money, not spending money to impress other people, and using that money in order to create financial freedom. What does the author mean by this? The author basically is trying to explain and to summarize, in order for us to gain financial freedom and to gain financial success, we have to think about saving money not on a monthly basis or on a yearly basis, or saving, for example, to buy that next car or that next mobile phone or that next house or project we want to do, but we have to save on a consistent daily basis. For example, instead of going to the coffee shop and buying that espresso on a daily basis, you can easily do some coffee at home, take it with you to work, and that saves you easily $1 or $2 every single day. Eventually those $2 will compound and you can use that money to invest, for example, in stocks or crypto. Another example is having a variety of pairs of shoes rather than having two good, decent pairs of shoes that you can use on formal and informal occasions. Therefore, the way in which we save money and we spend our money can have a big financial impact. Once we are saving money, it's important also not to lose that money by doing some stupid investments and not screwing up. So what the author tells us here, he gives us an example of two individuals, where one individual is putting money in the stock market slowly over time and sees that money grow, whilst the other individual tends to put his money suddenly into the stock market. The market collapses, sells everything off, and makes a big financial mistake, losing his hard-earned cash over a couple of days or minutes. So the way we actually work with our money and the mistakes we do with our money can cost us our financial stability. Finishing off, what I'd like to point out is what I learned from this book is that we always have to think of saving money and reducing our overall expenditure in order for us to gain financial freedom and to become more financially independent. It's not only important to go to work for a particular job or chase a particular career which is high paying, but it's also important to save money, to reduce your expenditure, and to invest in things which are long term, which will eventually compound and give us a good profitability. And of course, another important point is that of starting our own business. For example, starting a YouTube channel, starting a blog, starting an online business and e-commerce store can help us become more financially free and, of course, help us gain more free time for ourselves in order to do the things that we eventually want to do with our lives. I hope this video was interesting, guys. Thanks for watching my video. Subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate your subscriptions. Thank you one more time and see you next time.